We are watching the Mobius 5000 and oh no, is this going by comic book logic? Does this mean there is a minimum of 4,999 different Mobiuses? Just end my suffering now, we're getting close to the end of this show. The episode begins disproving my theory, thankfully. Instead, it's a NASCAR-like event with a bunch of drivers. So we've gone from a Sonic Spinball tie-in to a Sonic Drift tie-in. Robotnik is watching a newscast about the event, with Scratch and Grounder deciding they want to enter to claim the 10,000 Mobium's grand prize. They race each other and immediately crash into Robotnik. Robotnik says he wants to enter the race too, though not to win, but instead to get rid of Sonic for good. Good luck, Robotnik. He sends the dumb bus to deliver a letter to an orphanage. Something about finding a professional. We cut to Tails playing pool. His opponent tries and fails to cheat. What? No, not the magnetic ball thing. They mean that he went for the 8-ball first. Big no-no in pool. Tails swindles the opponent on his turn, clearing the board easily. Tails also cheated because he put both solids and stripes in on his turn, but shush! Remember kids, it's not okay to cheat unless Sonic or Tails do it. Tails claims his reward of some chili dogs, and yes, that is Roxy, just there. Though Sonic comes out of the board demanding his cut for knocking the balls in the hole, meaning Tails double cheated and had an accomplice. His opponent rightfully calls them out for cheating. Sonic knew about the magnetic ball and calls him out. Hey Sonic, just because your opponent cheated doesn't mean that you didn't cheat. You know that, right? As they leave, Sonic is interrupted by this busty porcupine. Don't think too much about it. Saying that Robotnik has threatened to close down her orphanage unless she pays him 10,000 Mobiums by tomorrow. Sonic doesn't want to help because he's broke. But then an advert for the Mobius 5000 plays, mentioning the 10,000 Mobiums grand prize. So now he's in the race too. They walk, notably not running, to Professor Keneinstein's lab. I love how this guy just came out of nowhere and now is in nearly every episode. What happened to Von Schlemmer? Did Keneinstein lock him in a closet? I need to know! Sonic gives him an automatic razor that cuts them both, ending with Sonic asking for the professor to make a car for him. Obviously, he already had the schematics for the car, so Sonic built it on the fly. Yeah, why not? We cut to the race with Sonic, Tails, and Keneinstein in their car. Robotnik is watching from the sides, ordering his Badnik bots to destroy the other cars, but not Sonic's for some reason. One of the Badnik cars sprays some elastic substance on Sonic's car, slowing him down at the start. Scratch and Grounder walk onto the racetrack for no good reason and get flattened by Sonic's car. Kenstein starts fixing the car and mistakes robotic roadkill for his tools. One fixed car later, and they drive off. Sonic goes after the competition, taking out Robotnik's Scorpion Badnik car along the way. It is only slightly more competent than Scratch and Grounder, getting itself electrocuted by its own tail, and somehow shorting out Robotnik's lair. Sonic catches up to the next Badnik car, named Scraper. It actually goes a bit better, with some ice landing on their car, crushing them all. The announcer even gets worried, with Robotnik, of course, celebrating Sonic's failure. Scratch and Grounder notice this, and somehow convince themselves that they need to save Sonic to keep their jobs. I don't get it either. They get Sonic out of the ice trap and let them go, and are even nice enough to bring them a pizza. With them back in the race, Sonic goes back to bot busting, starting with this unsuspecting fool that gets duped into driving off a cliff. Not much of interest happens next, but they enter a place referred to as Chemical Plant Zone, and now you know why I chose this as the background music. Human hands Grounder must be purged! The robots decide to hijack a nearby gas station, knowing that Sonic will have to stop there. Of course, Sonic obliges them, and somehow doesn't see through the disguise. Scratch puts Grounder in their car. Scratch also brings them 30 chili dogs somehow. Of course, he meant to put a time bomb in the car instead of Grounder, leaving himself to be blown up. Robotnik sees this and orders the next Badnik car to attack Sonic.
Hey, Sonic's the name. Speed's my game.
Oh, hey, is that where that line came from? That's a really deep cut if that was the intention for Smash. They have a tire popped and are dropped into some toxic chemicals. But Sonic decides no, so they just rise back up. Okay, sure, and the tire's fixed somehow. They leave Chemical Plant Zone to go to a much more generic casino zone. They could have called it Casino Night or even Spring Yard, but alas, no. Robotnik's Badnik car has suction tires and thus is able to bypass a traffic jam. Sonic can't do that, so instead he decides to go off-road to an underground special stage. We're doing this again? It's even a half-pipe this time. They emerge from the zone and destroy the last of the Badniks. It's all for naught though, as Robotnik makes a brick wall in front of the finish line. It works great. Until the orphans from earlier knock over the wall, crushing Robotnik and allowing Sonic to win the race. The episode reminds us that Grounder was still where the engine should be for the last several minutes. The episode ends with Sonic being declared the winner. Sonic says it's about car safety, which okay, sure, makes sense. As for the episode itself, I actually liked it quite a bit, relatively speaking. I think this is a decent one. None of the characters are impossibly dumb, and while yes, Sonic is an irredeemable cheater, so is the competition, so it balances out. Still not amazing by any means, but for the show standards, it's high mark. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and have a good one. Bye-bye!